Morning, everybody. It's Bear with Preparedness. I'm going to make some coffee and have a chat. Bear Independent, brief, 17 January 22. During a recent congressional hearing, things got a bit heated between Dr. Fauci and Senator Roger Marshall, who was questioning Fauci about his finances. Marshall noted that Forbes reported Fauci's salary of $434,000 a year and asked, quote, as the highest paid employee in the entire federal government, yes or no, would you be willing to submit to Congress a financial disclosure that includes your past and current investments? End quote. Because government employees' salaries are already publicly available, Fauci said, quote, you're so misinformed. It's extraordinary. What are you talking about? My financial disclosures are public knowledge and have been so. You're getting amazingly wrong information. End quote. In a hot mic moment, Fauci was caught saying of the senator, quote, what a moron, Jesus Christ, end quote. It has been reported that Fauci should receive the largest retirement package in the history of the U.S. government, a $350,000 annual pension, which, by the way, is chump change to people like this. The real key here is the investments. Moreover, Fauci and his wife have reportedly been paid over $13,000 to attend 4 events. The New York Post reported that 8,100 of that included travel reimbursements for 3 virtual galas. So travel reimbursements for their Zoom call. Presumably, with reports like these in mind, Senator Marshall made a statement saying, quote, since the disclosures were not public on Wednesday, Senator Marshall sent a letter to Dr. Fauci formally requesting his unredacted financial disclosures by 5 p.m. Friday, 14 January, this past Friday. In response, Dr. Fauci produced these previously unpublished documents, end quote. He then Senator Marshall announced the introduction of a new bill in response to the event, saying, quote, Dr. Fauci lied to the American people. Again, quote, Dr. Fauci lied to the American people. He is more concerned with being a media star and posing for the cover of magazines than he is being honest with the American people and holding China accountable for the COVID pandemic that has taken the lives of almost 850,000 Americans. Dr. Fauci was completely dishonest about his financial disclosures being open to the public. It's no wonder he is the least trusted bureaucrat in America. For these reasons, I will be introducing the Fauci Act, F-A-U-C-I Act. So financial disclosures like these are made public and are easily accessible online to every American. The acronym stands for Financial Accountability for Uniquely Compensated Individuals Act. Way to go. GovSpeak, acronyms, the best. Tremendous, believe it. Meanwhile, multiple doctors and scientists signed an open letter decrying Republican criticism of Dr. Anthony Fauci. Quote, the criticism is inaccurate, unscientific, ill-founded in the facts, and increasingly motivated by partisan politics, end quote. Well, some of us are into freedom and won't get on the bus or the train car or walk through the gate. Arbeit macht frei. So, if that's, partisan politics, so be it. Of course, not all medical professionals uphold Fauci as their noble savior. In a recent notable example, Dr. Mehmet Oz of Dr. Oz fame released a video challenging Fauci to a debate. Quote, oh, I'm boiling over here. Look at that. What a beautiful rolling boil. Donde está el globos? Here, watch this. Live. We're doing it live. That is a gorgeous rolling boil. See this? When you're in the wilderness, can you see that rolling boil right there? See that? You want that for 2 minutes. If you're drinking water that can't be trusted, that you don't trust from an unknown source. In this case, we're making coffee, so we're going to take our oven mitts here and move that off the fire so that it can cool down so that I don't burn my face off when we make some coffee. Put our oven mitts back. There we go. Sorry for the brief interlude, boys and gerbils. Where were we? Dr. Mehmet Oz of Dr. Oz fame released a video challenging Fauci to a debate. Quote, "You got COVID wrong. Let's have a debate, doctor to doctor, and give the American people the truth about COVID-19, end quote. In an interview with Newsmax, Dr. Oz said, quote, "I think Dr. Fauci is basically the J. Edgar Hoover of public health. He's a petty tyrant. He got COVID wrong. He continues to get it wrong. I keep hearing from people inside the public health space and outside, regular doctors like me, that he's not managing this correctly." Now, it's been, 30-some years since Fauci has seen a patient. He might be a doctor. He's a doctor, a lot like Hillary Clinton's a lawyer. Or has she been disbarred? Oh, wait, that was Mike and Barack Obama that were disbarred, I believe. Somebody fact check me on that. Pretty sure it was Big Mike that was disbarred. I don't remember about the Doc Barack. But anyway, practicing doctor and doctor are two very different things. So, the thing that's really interesting here for me is the investments. A lot of these cities, rumor has it, let's qualify this with this, rumor has it, a lot of these cities that have mask mandates and jab mandates and booster shot mandates, all this crap, a lot of these cities, the elected politicians in these cities have investments with the insurance companies and with the pharmaceutical companies. So they're profiting, the politicians within these cities are profiting like wild by enforcing these mandates. Something to think about. Que bono, who benefits? Not us. I've talked before at great length about they will only do what you let them do. I'm reading a book. I don't remember where I heard about it. It might have been Mike Shelby at Forward Observer. It might have been Pastor Joe Fox of Viking Preparedness. I don't remember, but I ended up ordering it and reading it. And I bring it up because it's called Special Operations in the American Revolution, and details a lot of really interesting things that happened. The first ever United States Marine Corps beach landing, and the precursor to the Rangers, and lots of very interesting stuff. Ethan Allen, not just a great place to buy furniture at. I don't know, it might be a terrible place to buy furniture at, and I know nothing about them, but a very interesting individual that ran the Green Mountain Boys. Paramilitary militia style organization. And there's a recurring theme within this book that's kind of near and dear to my heart. And so I'm kicking it to you, those of us who are entrepreneurial, those of us who own businesses. We understand as Americans, freedom-minded individuals, that there is a constitutional right to a well-regulated militia. Not meaning regulations, meaning squared away militia, right? So the right to bear arms shall not be infringed. What I'm finding fascinating reading this book is in many cases where those arms came from. Where did that kit come from? It's the merchant class arming and training their men. In many cases, these men didn't have the money to buy, flintlock muskets and hatchets and tomahawks and oiled leather haversacks and rations and boots and pants and shirts and, wool tunics and caps. They didn't have money for the kit, but their boss did. Or the city councilman did. Or the fire chief did. So he outfitted them, and they became his unit. And when that unit would fall in to the chain of command underneath a commissioned officer, that commissioned officer would direct that unit by directing their leader, the man who equipped and trained them. And that's how that chain of command worked. But all that gear, all that stuff, for those that couldn't afford it, was provided by those who could. I think there's a real lesson for us with that right now, because not everybody, I don't know, can you see what's hanging in this tree right here? How good are your eyeballs? Not everybody can afford one of them, or one of these, or whatever. We talk all the time at this channel about people being incredibly valuable. It's more about the people than the stuff. Stuff doesn't matter if you don't have people to use it. It's very similar to in Genesis when Lot is kidnapped and Abraham rolls out with 318 trained men of his house and goes to the valley of Siddim and fights against and wins against 5 kings with the trained men of his house. You have 318 men in your household? I don't. That's impressive. That's impressive. Abraham was rolling with a couple companies. That's impressive. But Abraham armed them. Abraham trained them. And they served at the pleasure of Abraham, just like the Green Mountain Boys and Ethan Allen. There's a concept in here for us, because we talk about they, the big they, will only do what we tolerate, right? They'll only do as much as we let them. Well, we compare and contrast the United States versus other places in the world. Let's be frank. How come the United States hasn't devolved into utter chaos like Canada or Australia or Austria or France or South Africa or wherever with these mandates? And the answer is because we are the last place, if not one of the last places on the face of the earth, where our governing authorities do not have a monopoly on deadly force. And this is not a call to violence. It's not a call to action. I just want you to onboard this, to understand it. We worry so much about what the government is going to do. What are they going to do, Bear? What are you doing? What are you doing? The laws of nature and nature's God, Yahweh or Elohim, the same laws that are mentioned in our Declaration of Independence here in the United States of America. Those laws do not tolerate weak men for very long. Nature abhors a void. There are many, many good people out there. I've been blessed to meet many of y'all. They go around the country, whether it's traveling for work or traveling for missions work, and meet really good people. There's many people that are not. And they may be perfectly fine citizens, but they don't have a spine, they don't have a set of balls, and they misunderstand what this country is supposed to be. And let me just say that it's my right, it's my prerogative to firmly believe, on the one hand, that what we have in the United States of America is the greatest thing that has ever been on the face of this earth. I do believe in American exceptionalism. And on the other hand, I can look and see the writing on the wall and go, this shit is not going to last forever. Debt, tyranny, civil unrest, external threats, internal threats, the age of empires, It would be a literal miracle if this country didn't collapse under its own bloated, unrighteous weight. And I don't think we're in a position to be praying for miracles as a country anymore. I can't think of a reason why the Father would shine his face upon a nation that slaughters babies at a rate that we can't even keep track of anymore, that engages in abominations daily, that says that they're a Christian nation, yet doesn't even know what his friggin' word says. You know, our grandfathers and our uncles and our brothers and our friends, and for many of us didn't go halfway around the world to go spill their blood on foreign soil so that so many people, even good-intentioned people, could be pacifist little bitches. It's really frustrating. It's really frustrating for me because, you know, I hear it from a lot of people. Bear, what do you mean we can't turn this thing around? We're going to vote this person in. We're going to march on this city. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. That doesn't work. If it worked, they wouldn't let you do it. We have weak men who can't lead their homes. Weak men who can't lead their homes that think they're going to go halfway across the country and they're going to go fix this somehow. Or they're going to throw their plate carrier on and grab a rifle and they're going to be, you know, the green-eyed boogeyman in the middle of the night. The one thing that stands in between tyranny and America. It's me and my militia. Dude, you can't balance a checkbook. And you're going to fix the country. You don't have the discipline to train and PT and take care of yourself. But you got the discipline to take care of everybody else. And until that changes, no, I don't see a hopeful way out of any of this. Which is why I am inward pointed currently. Me and mine are strong. That's why we can go halfway across the country when other people find themselves in a moment of weakness and go be a blessing to them. There are myriad great delusions right now. Myriad great delusions right now. One of them is the idea that there might even be something that we could do about this. I honestly don't know. But I do know this. They will only do what you allow them to do. Stop allowing them. And in the meanwhile, we all need to fix ourselves. Myself included. We all need to be as strong as possible where we are now. Because if it does get bad, if it does go to guns, if it does get scary out there, stand by. If it does get bad out there, for whatever reason, Russia, Ukraine, China, Taiwan, Indo-Pacific region, Kazakhstan, global pandemic, food scarcity, civil unrest, economic collapse, solar flares and EMPs, regime change, pick one. If it does get bad, if it does go to guns and you're not strong, you're operating under the illusion of strength because you have the stuff but you don't know how to use it. You're done for. You're a goner. I thought for a long time, years, on how do we actually make forward progress on either restoring the United States of America, which I don't think you can do because it's a fact of life Time doesn't go backwards. Or ushering in America 2.0, whatever that might look like, to have some say in how it will run. Will it be a righteous nation that acknowledges the sovereignty of the Creator? Will it be a place where men and women of every color and creed have inalienable rights endowed by their Creator, and those are respected by their governing authorities? Will it be a place of laissez-faire capitalism without outside influence? Will it be a place where those who commit atrocities and abominations are dealt with righteously and justly? Will it be one of those places? Could it be one of those places? Maybe. I'm interested in that. I like the idea of that. I have kids. I want to have grandkids one day. I would work for that. I would fight for that. I would defend that. But I won't spill my own blood upon the ground for what we have now. It's an atrocity. It's an atrocity, and even then it's the best thing in the friggin' world. What does that say about the rest of the place? I guess I'm just musing at this point. I may never even post this. But if we're not strong in our homes, if we're not leading our family, if we're not self-disciplined, we have no place, in my mind, we have no place going out there and trying to fix the world. We're ushering in, creating something new. He who can be trusted with little can be trusted with much. I wouldn't necessarily say that we've been trustworthy with what we've been given thus far. As always, I'm interested in your comments down below. I appreciate y'all. I also would like to be wrong. I really, really, really would like to be wrong. And yet, I don't believe that I am. That's why we do what we do. That's why we're out here doing this. To maintain as much distance from tyranny as we possibly can. Because as this system continues to circle the drain, its death throes are going to become more and more violent. And I don't want to be within arm's reach of it. That's why we tell you all to come out. Come out of her, my people. Lest you partake of her sins and receive of her plagues. You could be a good person in the wrong place and bad stuff happens to you because you shouldn't have been there in the first place. That's why I don't put my faith in man. Put my faith in the Creator. You know, and if you track with maybe this is biblical, if this is actually a biblical proportion that we're going with what's going on right now in the world, then this is ordained. The failure of all man-made systems, of all nation states, of everything is a given. And you could lean into the blessings of your Creator and His provision and His protection and quit suckling on the teat of government. Or you could try to sustain this unrighteous beast system and continue whoring with Babylon. I don't know what's right for you, but I know what's working for me, even if it's not easy or comfortable or even makes sense some days. But I guess faith doesn't make sense. If it did, it wouldn't be faith. And again, I can love the United States of America and what it stands for, and all the blood that has been spilled by my family and my friends for this nation. And I can honor that. And I can lament its loss. And maybe even pine for yesteryear when things were better than they are now, on the one hand. And on the other, read the writing on the wall and realize, like our brother Rex says, my God is God. And he knows what he's doing. And he has in no way convicted me to try and preserve what's over here on the other hand right now. He has said, son, get out of there. It's going to hell in a handbasket. And I need you for other things, so I don't need you there. And sometimes he says, talk at this sideways iPhone. And I don't even understand what I'm saying or why most days. So hopefully this was a blessing to you. Be strong where you are. Be strong where you are. Start in your household. You can't fix anything bigger than yourself until you fix yourself first. And you can't steward anything bigger than yourself until you steward yourself first. We'll leave it at that for today. Bless y'all. Shalom.